Welcome to Curiousaholic. My name is Haiko. I'm here with my good friend Evan.
Hi there, Earthlings.
So, before we get into today's topic, here's a quick rundown of how the podcast works. So in each episode, one of us comes up with an interesting topic that they are curious about and reveals it live to the other person in the hopes to spark a deep discussion and further our knowledge about the world around us.
Can't wait to see what you brought up today.
Yes, and this is our first episode where we start
Discuss a
discussing.
topic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You better start this off well with a bang.
Got a lot on my shoulders now. Well, all right. So before we get into it, can you maybe guess a little what kind of topic it could be from what I was playing?
So based on what you were playing, it sounded a bit like not dramatic, but it sounded like there was tension in the room a little bit.
A little tension. Okay. What sort of themes, maybe?
I don't know. It kind of sounded
feeling?
sad a little bit.
True. Okay. Maybe it sounded a little romantic.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what
you're-
exactly you're referring to, but
Maybe you're thinking, oh, is it going to be a cheesy topic?
maybe.
Maybe a little, but we'll make it interesting.
Hey, cheesy doesn't mean bad. Could be good.
Yeah, depends how you go about it,
Yeah.
right? So the topic I decided to discuss today is soulmates.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be an interesting one. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, soulmates. I know we talk about that in our culture, but I just wanted to go deeper into it. And I don't know. I just had this topic in my mind and I wanted to discuss further with you. And,
I'm already your soulmate, so
yeah, see.
I'm your swole mate too.
You're my soulmate at the gym.
Yeah.
Only. No, more than that, man. Let's not go further than that.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Let's see.
let's dive into it. So first thing, what is a soulmate in your opinion?
A soulmate. Well, I guess it kind of speaks for itself, right? I mean, someone that you choose to spend the rest of your life with, I guess, that you have a deep emotional connection with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Could be on like a romantic level, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be your soulmate in a particular area of your life. Like someone that you really like spending time with, let's say in your favorite sport, or you're writing music with, right? Like
a friend.
A friend.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good definition. And I kind of agree with that as well. If we look at, what the dictionary says, they say a person with whom one has a strong affinity, shared values and taste. And often, yes, it's a romantic bond. You're my soulmate. You're the one.
You're like my podcast soulmate.
Oh man, shit, I'm touched. Starting to blush now. But yeah, so that's the idea of a soulmate, and I just wanted to go deeper into it and talk about is there really such a thing as a soulmate? Is it an idea that we create in our head, that we romanticize, that we wish exists, but maybe the reality speaks differently? So,
Okay, cool.
Just to go further into it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So going further into it, so let's look at soulmates in our culture, how soulmates are depicted, how true love or the one is shown in movies and whatnot. And wait, I think somebody's entered the chat here. Wait, who's that? Oh, Nicholas Spark has entered the chat. Do you know who he is?
No.
Like, who the hell is this guy? You don't know who Nicholas Sparks is?
No.
He's like the romance guy 101.
Oh, okay. You taking classes from him or something?
No, I haven't taken classes of him, but I've
Romance
seen
101.
some of his, movies, such as The Notebook.
Oh,
Dear
this
John.
guy. Yeah.
Fucking, what else does he have? He has like, oh, my slide is having some issues, but yeah, a lot of movies. Whoop. Yeah, so this guy has done, as you see on the screen, lots of movies. He's written like 21 books on love, basically, all sorts of stories.
He's the love guru.
Yeah, he's the love guru, basically. And I think from all of these, The Notebook is like one of the most famous one. Even if you haven't seen it, you've heard about it. It's the most, hopeless romantic story, the one I need to fight for in my life. So I wanted to see what sort of ideas are shown in movies and books. Are they really realistic? As we see, some of the ideas is that someone that is meant to be for you. That's what we see in movies. You have this one person that will complete you. No matter what, you have to fight for that person. If it means, abandoning your loved ones or your job,
Your life goals.
your life goals, alienating people in your life just for that one person. And is it realistic? That's what I kind of want to discuss.
So you want to see how like kind of like fiction depicts what love is all about, right? Is it a realistic goal to want to have a soulmate like that's depicted in movies or books or
Yeah, and just kind of like our general opinion. Like, I'm not here to say soulmates don't exist necessarily, or you can't find true love. If you think that exists, okay. But it's just to kind of see our own opinions here. You know, I'm not trying to like prove anything. But yeah, so some of the things as we see in our culture is if you know, you know, and that person will complete you if you find it. And yeah, which I think is kind of a bit stretched out and unrealistic. What do you think of?
Well, you're
some
talking
of those
about are you talking
ideas?
about like love at first sight or something, or is it more like
Well, as in the idea of one person is meant to like complete you.
okay. Well, I think to a certain degree, if, in my opinion, for a relationship, I feel like you'll know if the person's right for you if it doesn't feel like when you're with the person, it feels like a chore. Like you don't have to pretend to be anyone else, or you don't have to, force your emotions. And if it just feels natural and the person brings a compliment to your life rather than like, a burden,
Yeah.
then you know that that person is going to be right for you. Like for myself, I'm in a relationship and I do feel like it is like that for me, right? It doesn't feel like I have to like present myself in a different way. I could just be myself and it wouldn't affect my relationship in any way.
Which is
Whereas with
great.
other people, that's how I felt, right? It's always like I'm pretending to be someone. So you'll kind of know if the person's right for you, I think.
If it's right for you. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to discuss that a bit further. So on one side, we have, some of the ideas that are perpetuated in our culture, find that one person, fight for them, do whatever it takes. But, let's look at a bit of, the reality of love, which is, as you know, some of the statistics in marriage, do you know that about 40% of first marriages end in divorce, which is a
Right.
pretty stark number. Which you would think, a marriage is you vow literally in front of tens and hundreds of people, you're the one for me. I will love you forever and ever. But yet so many end in divorce.
Right. Yeah. Is that like for like America, or is that like worldwide, like a statistic?
I would say, yeah, this is more North American statistic. But in general, yes, a lot of the marriages do end in divorce.
Yeah. Especially here in Quebec.
Oh, really? I guess, yeah, you could say so. But yeah, it kind of shows, okay, people want to believe, a lot of people believe in true love, but yet so many still get divorced, after getting married.
Yeah.
And you think, getting married is, you thought that was the one person for you, but yet you're still getting divorced. How does that happen, So
Yeah. It's contradicting the promise you made almost, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the reality of love. Also, when it comes to men, generally you find that men, they fall in love more and they tend to want to stay in a relationship more versus women. So
Yeah, we get more attached than the woman does, I think. Which is a lot of the problems that men have in relationships, is that our expectations are very high, and sometimes for women it may not be on the same train of thought, right? They don't expect as much. They don't expect the relationship to last as long. And then when the breakup happens, then sometimes the man kind of like
feels worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it also, the movie The Notebook, it kind of shows that how the guy is like chasing the girl, even that they only spend like 3 months together, and then the girl goes away like to a college somewhere, and he still thinks about her, and he still sends letters to her like every single day, but she doesn't respond. Well, that's because her mom hides the letters, but whatever. It just shows
Sabotage.
that yeah, she basically sabotages their relationship. But yeah, I find that men a lot of times are more desperate, maybe in that sense.
I don't know if it's desperate as much as like, yeah, I think it's just attachment. I think we just get attached too easily. I don't think it's desperate, because I think a lot of us, or we have the potential to find any mate that we want, or any partner that we want, but it's not that we're desperate. It's just like when we have something, we want to stick to it, and it's like we don't want to start over almost, you know.
Okay.
So I don't feel like it's because we're desperate. I think it's just because we get attached too easily.
We just get attached too easily, or is it
I think
maybe
that's
that
it.
men? It's like they need that validation from a woman, whereas a woman, she's the one who's in power. She's the one who has the power to reject.
That takes the shots almost.
Yeah, it's like I call the shots, and you guys have to pursue me. That's how the society, our culture is made.
Not just in our culture and society, in nature. That's
in
how it
nature
is,
as well,
right?
so it's more
If
natural.
you think about
even.
animals, like it's always kind of, you know, the men or the males fighting, proving who's the, you know, the alpha male, and then the woman is going to select
Basically, yeah.
who she wants.
So the men have more on their shoulders to prove themselves.
Right.
And so they tend to, you know, when they think this is the one, they, you know, fall in love and completely kind of forget reality, right? So those are some of the aspects of the reality of love versus, you know, what we see in the movies. So I just want to discuss some of our personal views. So is there such a thing as a soulmate then? Is there such a thing as the one, like one person in the world that is meant to complete you?
I think so. I think it works that way because, maybe based on my personal experience, like with like the different people I've seen and whatever, I feel like my personality gravitates more towards a certain person than another. And I know when I'm happy with someone. And that, I guess, just, you know, tells me that there is a certain person that's meant for another.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is that in the 7 billion people that we have on Earth, is there one person that was meant to be with Evan? That's what I'm trying to get. Or is there maybe a multitude of people that you could potentially match with?
Yeah. But I think that's what it is. It's like,
I don't want to put you in hot waters here because you're in a relationship.
No. Well, no.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm not gonna say anything
be like,
stupid.
aren't I the one?
No. What I mean is, I think we match with a certain personality, and it just turns out that person was there at the right place in the right time, and our personalities match so well that, you know, turned out to be like a soulmate for me, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know if it could be another person necessarily, but that person just ended up being at the right place in the right time, and turns out it worked out that way, you know?
Okay.
So
yeah, it's just kind of chance and kind of also compatibility with that type of person, and then you decide to go for it and work on it. Not necessarily that if you didn't do anything and we put this person that was meant to be with you, and, you know, would it last? Maybe not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there is a possibility to, you know, be with a multitude of different people, but in the end, out of all those people, there's just that one person that it works out the best with, right?
Okay.
It could be a selection of people, but out of those people, even though they have similar personalities, I still think there's going to be one of them that kind of resonates better with you.
Okay, so you don't think that you could hypothetically potentially have, you know, long-lasting, healthy relationships with more than one? I'm not saying like a polygamy thing, but let's say in one dimension, Evan, you know, is married to this person, and in another dimension, you're married to this other person. Could it still work? Or because what you're saying, and what also, you know, the ideas in our culture is that it's this specific one person that is meant to be with you. So it's like, okay, and how am I supposed to find that person even? You know, that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It could be anyone, really.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's also a question of right place and the right time, right? You can't, like, what's the likelihood of me meeting one of those millions of people that I could potentially be with if we're not in the same setting or the same dimension?
But that's what I'm saying, because the ideas of a soulmate is that there is one person on Earth, maybe they're living in Australia, and that person is meant to be with you, but you never meet whatever that person is. You just meet someone here in, you know, Quebec, Montreal.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider that a soulmate if I wouldn't have the potential of meeting the person, right? See what I mean?
No, yeah. But okay. I guess I'm trying to see how you see a soulmate versus how I see.
That's what we like asking on this show. We just like delving into topics and not really knowing the direction we're gonna bring anything. But
But yeah, because my idea of a soulmate is that there's this one specific person, wherever they might be, that is meant to be with you. So whoever else you are with, they're not the right person. It's that one person that is meant to be with you. Do you believe in that?
No.
No, that's okay. Exactly.
Because how would that person be meant to be with me if I wouldn't have the potential of crossing paths with the person, right? It's like saying my soulmate is on the planet Mars, right? Like, how am I going to meet that person?
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Let's take Elon Musk's rocket and I'll go see my soulmate, you know?
Yeah, if he can launch his rockets without crashing them 2 seconds later. Sorry, Elon.
We love you, Elon.
It's okay. You'll get there.
Elon is my soulmate.
No, you're going to have a baby called X something.
Oh.
X25.
X Kai something.
Yeah. It's a weird ass algorithm name. But yeah, okay, so you don't believe in that type of soulmate.
Not really. Okay. I don't think if like there isn't the like possibility of meeting that person, I don't see why that would be my soulmate, right? You're thinking it's like a hypothetical like soulmate almost.
Yeah, but because that's sort of the idea that's perpetuated in our culture, that there's this one specific person that you're searching and you will find them and that will be the person. But you're
exactly
saying,
if you're searching, that means eventually you'll cross paths with the person.
Okay, so you're saying basically there is a potential of many people that can become my soulmate,
but only one of them will cross paths with you, and that'll be the one person.
What if you never cross paths with that so-called?
Then you're gonna die alone.
Wow, that's so sad. Okay,
I don't know. I just say that. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but
no.
I mean, yeah, I guess some people are just luckier than others, and potentially there is a person out there that's meant for you, but like maybe you're just not as lucky and you haven't gotten that opportunity yet to meet that person. That's my opinion.
Okay, that's your opinion. Okay, if I say what I think about this, I guess I'm a bit more cynical or more realistic in terms of when it comes to love. Like I used to be more, in the romantic side. Yes, that there's this one person and they're gonna complete you. But after going through some rough times and whatever, I kind of find that there can be a multitude of people that can be right for you. Some may be worse, some may be better. Some have better values versus others. It's basically up to me kind of to choose which person will best suit me. But
I think we're ultimately saying the same thing though.
Yeah.
Because I said, the way I explained it is, yeah, we have like a multitude of people that could potentially match with you. But in the end, it's your decision to say, I think this person out of that whole gang is right for me. I think it's the same.
Okay. But I guess what maybe I want to change a little is that I could be with this person or even that person, and both could actually work out to have long-lasting relationships. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that it's not person A that's gonna bring me to the home run only necessarily. Person B as well could also bring me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Is person A better than person B?
But what defines better? I guess one has more of this, the other has less of that. So it's basically up to me to choose, whichever I like at this moment. And because how can I also say this? Let's say you're saying person A is the right one for me. What if you don't work at it? You don't put the effort, then that person A is gone. And that relationship is gone. And maybe then you go with person B, then you're like, you know what, I'm going to work at it. And it works. So you see, so it also depends on the effort you put into the relationship.
But that's the thing also in terms of like finding that one person. In my opinion, if it feels like a job and you really have to like, put in a lot of work, then is that really the person for you?
No, it isn't. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so you'll kind of know, like out of that group, let's say you date a few people in that one group of, in that group that you could potentially match with, and let's say you dated all of them, and for some of the individuals that you dated, I'm sure it's going to be easier, right? You're just going to feel like it's less effort. It just feels like it's natural. Then I think that's the person that's right for you, rather than, trying to like force your way into the relationship. Like let's make this work, like every day you have to find new like activities and stuff to do with the other person. but sometimes it just works naturally with a person, and you guys,
Okay.
no matter what you do together, it still works out. It's still fun. And
Or maybe, okay, although what I'm saying with effort, maybe you're thinking when I'm saying to put the effort is like feels like a job. But no, what I mean is that any relationship, you have to exercise it. You have to basically
For sure.
put the effort, as in, to create trust, to communicate. I don't think there's a relationship where it's like, hey bro, what's up? Yeah, I'm cool. It's like
yeah,
or maybe you see it differently.
in my personal opinion, like with my in my relationship right now, it's kind of like that. It's like, hey, you want to hang out today? Yeah, sure. We don't have like in mind like what we're gonna do. Like, yeah, let's go here and then we'll go there. It's like we meet up and then we kind of decide on the spot. Hey, what do you want to do? And it
but
just
I guess
feels like
maybe
natural.
at this moment it's more chilled out. But maybe once you start living with that person and maybe then raising family or careers and whatnot, so maybe then you have to start putting in a bit more effort.
Maybe.
It might feel more effort.
Yeah.
But effort in a good way, not in an effort like, oh, I'm so tired of trying to maintain this relationship. No, as in,
I felt that before. It's horrible.
okay, yeah, me same. I know that feeling. But yeah, what I'm just trying to say is that I think some people, when they're like, oh, I'm in love with this person, oh, she loves me, I'm not gonna put any effort. I'm gonna take that person for granted.
Yeah, that could be a trap.
I
did that. I was victim of that mistake.
Yeah, you
getting
take
too
that,
comfortable.
Yeah, too comfortable,
and then not putting in, like you said, some of the required effort in a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because if you become complacent and take it granted, then it's gonna disappear. It's not gonna last, even
True.
if you think they're the one, right?
That's true.
So yeah, so me, that's what I think. I think that I could have just as much of a good relationship with person A versus person B. It just depends, the effort I put into it and the compatibility with those people.
Yeah. For me, as the more it feels natural, the better it is for me.
Yeah, that's kind of what you value more. It's part of your values. Yeah. Another question. Yeah, I was asking, like, when it comes to marriages, if soulmates exist, why do so many marriages end in divorce? I mean, I guess some people, don't really understand the meaning of a soulmate, or they just, again, take the person for granted or think it's the correct person, but in reality it's not. So that's why there's so many divorces, because people just marry on, their butterflies they feel in the stomach, you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, you can't just when you sign those papers, hey, we're legally married. It doesn't mean, it's not like a real contract. You know what I mean? It's not like a moral contract. Like, hey, we're binded to each other for real.
Okay.
It's like it could be that it doesn't work out. Yeah, religion says, hey, you guys are binded forever as a couple, and you're united by this ring that you wear on your fingers and stuff. But like you said, if you don't put in the work and you take it for granted and you don't treat your partner very well, then it's gonna fall apart. That's why.
But people don't realize that. Because people vow, they say, yes, I will be with you forever and ever till death do us apart, but yet they don't really honor those vows, because they didn't really consider or choose the right person and made sure this is the one they want to spend the rest of their life, because it's a big commitment, and
some people are not honest with themselves either. They see the
exactly.
opportunity. Oh, this seems like a nice person, and I wouldn't mind getting married. The person makes a lot of money, let's say, or something like that. Let's get married. And then
the reasons behind the marriage.
And then a few years later, that person realizes, hey, my partner is not as nice as I thought he or she was, And then a marriage falls apart like that easily.
So in terms of marriages, I think people sometimes can delude themselves. Also, when it comes to our culture, why does our culture love to perpetuate that idea of like chasing that one person that is supposedly going to complete you?
Chasing that validation all the time. That's how humans are.
Because people love watching those sort of movies, or maybe it's romantic, people love to dream.
As humans, we just like feeling validated, I think. We like feeling validated by our friends. your loved one, your soulmate, whatever you want to call it. You know, you that's how we are. We don't care enough about like ourselves. We always care about like the opinion of others all the time. So always chasing that person. Like I need to get married right away. You know, I need to find someone that respects me. You know, rather than respecting yourself first, and then once you fully grow up and you're mature, then you could be like, hey, now it's time to get married.
Yeah.
You know, respect yourself first and then find someone that'll respect you back as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, you know, begging, sort of desperate for that love and attention. So I guess, you know, movies, they capitalize on that.
Yeah.
All those feelings. Obviously, they're going to show what you want to see. You know, they're not going to show like some mature story. I mean, I guess there are movies that are more realistic or mature in their approach, but a lot of them are, you know, sappy. Oh, I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and also the last point I wanted to discuss. Yeah. So I think we kind of did discuss the why men in general fall in love more than women. I guess, yeah, they're kind of at the mercy of women, and women have that power to reject men. So I guess that answers.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's just our opinion because we're biased. Like we are men.
Yeah, true. Maybe so.
But
I think it is though.
I think I agree with that. I mean,
I think even women could agree.
I think women agree with that too.
I think that turns more mature.
I think that turns women off a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Like a man that's like too clingy and like wants to like always be around like all the time. I think like from experience, I know women that hate that.
Yeah.
Completely.
Oh yeah, there are women who don't love a man that just chases them constantly and texts or calls them. Yeah. So, but yeah, I think even women would agree that men generally fall more in love and want to stay in love. And are kind of those hopeless romantics.
Yeah. And then the breakup is men take breakups pretty hard, in my opinion.
True.
I fell victim to that. I'm sure you have too. Breakups suck.
I think anyone in general can agree.
Man or woman, they suck. They just suck.
They just suck, yeah. Because, yeah, you don't know how to prepare for that.
You feel like violated. You're like, all these promises and like, man, you know.
All these years or however long gone.
Yeah, but then you get over it.
But it also shows how women are sometimes faster in getting over it than men are.
Yeah. It depends the person. I mean, we're generalizing a little bit here, but some women, I'm sure, they take it really difficult.
Yeah.
Find it very difficult to get off of a relationship.
I'm not saying all of them, but
in general,
many, I would say so. I think again, it comes down to sort of the power dynamic between the woman and the man.
True.
Yeah, I think it comes to that. But that was kind of pretty much sort of what I wanted to discuss. And you know, to sort of close off, in my opinion, my closing, you know, one of my closing statements is I don't think a soulmate exists or the one exists. Because honestly, that would be a sad life, don't you think? Like if there was just one single person out of the 7 billion people that you had to meet to be happy, and you never found that person, it's a sad life.
Yeah, true. I don't entirely agree with like the pure definition of soulmate, like one person.
But that's what I mean.
That exists.
That's the definition.
I don't agree with that either. But I do agree that there is multiple people that have similar traits, and then probably out of that group, maybe there's one that could work better than others. Like you said before, remember how you said, I think, let's say there's a potential dating group that you could date like and see each one of those people. Okay. Maybe there's one out of those that you probably match a little bit better with. And it's not necessarily a soulmate, but I think it's more like a compatibility thing, right?
Let's take a number, okay? There is 1 million women that you can basically have, you know, similarities with. So you think out of the million, only one could work?
That's not what I said. I said that, let's say there's 1 million.
Yeah.
Let's say, I agree with you. You could probably date those 1 million, and maybe 2-3 of them could work. But maybe you just get along with one of them a bit better. That's all.
Okay.
That's my definition.
Okay. Could you potentially have a life with one and another with a second one?
You can, but maybe one of those lives might be crappier than the other.
Okay, you don't think they could equally work?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you believe that there is still
I don't think soulmate is the right term. I just think that you could agree with someone
Just
a bit
a
better.
better match.
Yeah, a better match. That's all.
Okay.
That's it. Because some people are you could have two people that are very similar, right? That even look the same, that, they have the same values and the same,
sometimes
they come
couples
for the
look alike as well.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Come from the same place, and yeah, they have the same attributes almost, and you could equally like both, but let's say you dated both of them and you're like, this one wasn't as good as this one. That's all.
Okay.
And it turns out you ended up living your life with that person X rather than Y, know?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of understand the way you see it. Yeah, I guess I see it a bit differently.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why we're sharing our thoughts. Because right now you live in Canada, Quebec, and you found that person locally, and you feel connected the most to that person. But let's say if you lived in the States, would you be able to find still a person?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I don't want to put you.
I mean, look at me.
Yeah, you got a nice haircut now, so girls be flocking. Or is that a knock? No. But that's, you see my idea now?
Yeah. No, I understood from the beginning.
Okay.
Like with your Australia analogy thing.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, yeah, if you're in Australia, you could probably find an Australian person that'll match with you. But if I'm in Quebec, I'm not going to meet an Australian that's there and say, I'm never going to find anyone else in my life because my one soulmate is in Australia.
But that's what I'm saying. So the idea of a soulmate doesn't exist.
No.
It's just, what is the best match in your current situation among...
Exactly. That's my opinion.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I think we share a very similar idea.
I guess maybe I was trying
agree to disagree. Yeah.
No, I think we kind of agreed here.
Yeah, we kind of agree then.
Yeah, because I said, if you were in a different environment, different state, whatever.
No. I'm saying you can't, let's say you're in Quebec and a person's in Australia and you're never going to cross paths. Like, how is that your soulmate? It makes no sense. It's like a hypothetical situation almost, right?
But that's the idea that a lot of people believe in.
I don't believe
that one day I'm going to travel the world and I'm going to find that one person wherever they might be.
Yeah, but if you travel, then that enables you to meet that person, right?
Okay.
See?
So I guess, So I guess the idea of a soulmate is kind of ever evolving and it follows you.
Exactly.
It kind of just depends on the situation.
Where you are.
Like, you are here and then boop, boop, there are people that pop and that could be a potential.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we agree in that idea that there isn't this specific person that is destined,
No.
You were born in 1996, that other person was born in 1997 at this name. No, I don't believe that either.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Because it just seems unrealistic, right? Like,
well, obviously, that's what I'm trying to get at.
How does that make any sense? Like, yeah, that's just depicted in movies and in literature and whatever you want to call it, like in books,
The idea of someone, the idea of a good match, they inflate it into a soulmate and the one person. Yeah. Which is, I guess, for entertainment purposes. And, like, The Notebook is entertaining and is like a tearjerker known movie. But other than that, I don't think you should base your reality of love on that.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, and see, that's always like a problem with movies, is that people watch them as like when they're younger and then they get that idea like, oh, I'm never going to meet this person because, I'm only destined to have this one soulmate.
Yeah. Yes.
And then they grow up thinking that for a while. And it's like, no.
And it's like, no, just find the person that's the best match.
Go out there, meet people, and you'll find someone. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. And put the effort in.
Or nowadays, it's just like, go on Tinder and you'll find whoever you want.
Yeah, it's like we went from like, the 20th century where it was like, marry this one person and live 60 years to, every week, okay, next,
swiping and stuff, whatever.
Yeah, so I think people need to readjust their ideas of what love is, what true love is, what a soulmate is. It's be realistic, find someone that shares a lot of your values, has a similar vision, and compliments you well, and then work at it.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, that's kind of our closing thoughts on that.
Yeah, just to give maybe a last personal analogy, like the person I'm with is not even from here, right? If I was to imagine that my soulmate was solely from Canada, then this idea wouldn't work.
So
you
they
know?
came to
They
you.
came here. You know, it's not like a defined thing. There's only that one person that lives like in whatever country. You know, it could be. It just depends the scenario, right? It just depends what happens.
But I guess, you know what, people, if people wanted to argue with us, they would say, well, yeah, that person was meant to be. Everything happened. Those are the people who believe in destiny, you know, would they say that this was the person you were meant to live. But you can't debate that, because everything you do in your life, those people will say, well, that was destiny. Oh, I moved my hand up. Oh, that was meant to be.
Fate.
Yeah, that was fate. It's like, okay, so I don't have no control over anything.
That's a load of crap, for lack of a better word.
I think those people who believe, you know, in destiny, no offense, but I think, you know, they don't want to take accountability for what they do.
Exactly.
They just like, want, you know, I'll just do nothing and it'll come to me. And
I ended up in jail. Oh, that was, you know, that was fate.
I have no control over that.
Yeah, come on,
man.
You got to take accountability for your actions and your life. Like,
it's your choices.
If you're not finding anyone, like, it's not because your soulmate is not there and she's in another country or he's in another country. It's because you haven't focused on yourself enough. That's what a lot of my friends come to me. They're like, "Hey man,
that's a good point.
Hey man, like, what am I gonna do? I haven't even found a girlfriend yet. Blah blah blah." I'll be like, it sounds cliche, but it's like, work on yourself first, and then you'll find someone. It's that simple. Like, what are you doing to like better yourself, right?
Yeah. That's a great advice, man. Whoever's listening to this,
that's my best advice I could give. Yeah.
Because honestly, a lot of times you meet the person without even thinking that you met the person, or it just comes because you are being yourself, you're working on yourself, you're growing, and then a person pops up.
Exactly.
And, you gravitate towards that person. Because
as much as you're developing your own self, you're throwing yourself into new like territories all the time, and that's when you unlock that, you know, like that possibility of meeting someone, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you just stay at home and play video games all day, how is that going to help you find someone, right?
I think maybe those people like indirectly believe the idea of a soulmate, that it'll come, you know, there's just one person and I don't need to do anything to find it. Exactly. But no, again, the effort.
I've heard something funny. One of my friends was like, his mom was like, "Hey, when are you going to get a girlfriend?" And he's like, you know, girls are not ready for me. You know, like, come on, you know, that's funny.
Okay, girls are not ready for me. Okay.
It's funny, but you know, that kind of brushes off the fact that, you know, like, he doesn't have to put any work. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, they'll come when they want. You know, it's like, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay, he's like so in of himself.
Exactly.
So he's the opposite. He doesn't need to work, or it'll come.
It'll come. Yeah, my soulmate's gonna show up one day, right?
Yeah, it'll just knock on my door.
Yeah, that's not how it works at all.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah,
you'll just be more miserable that way, basically. So yeah, first work on yourself, respect yourself, and go out there, and don't expect it. It'll be when it'll be.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know we're kind of dragging this on, but like, that's another thing. Kind of, some people try to force it, and I don't know if you've seen that before.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Just for the fact of being with someone.
Yeah. I used to know another friend that used to like chase a different girl every single week. He would try with one girl, it wouldn't work. He would get like, let's say rejected. Next week, he would do anything in his power to meet someone else in any given context, so that he could eventually get that validation that he needs.
So he was desperate in that case.
Yeah, it's not loving yourself, man. Like,
yeah, why do you need to chase a woman every single week?
You don't.
So that shows problems in you, not in the women you're chasing.
That's showing that you're lacking confidence in yourself, and you can't
resist to stop for a bit.
Exactly. Take a break. Like, you don't have to chase anyone. It's gonna happen. Relax.
You might not even do it for your whole year or many years.
Who cares? Like, exactly.
When it comes, and
yeah. I know for young men, it's always like, I want to get with a girl right now, and you know, it's kind of like immature.
Well, yeah, because I think for a lot of young men, when I was in like high school or even elementary school, having a girlfriend is kind of like an accessory. That's what I would see, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have a dog, well, I have a girlfriend, you know? I don't want to, like, yeah. I know it sounds demeaning, but.
I know what you meant, yeah.
No, but seriously, a lot of guys just had a girlfriend be like, hey, guys, here's my girlfriend. I'm like, okay. And then we broke up.
2 weeks later.
You know?
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
That's what it is. But as they grow up, you know, hopefully they realize and mature.
Yeah. It should be a complement to your life, not like an accessory, right? It's two different things.
Yeah. Then there's a problem if that's the case. But yeah, so our closing thoughts after half an hour now. Do you have anything else to add? I guess that kind of wraps it up pretty well.
We went on for a bit. That was fun. That was interesting.
That was a good topic, yeah. Just kind of sharing our own thoughts. Nothing, you know, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just do what makes you happy and, you know, follow your values. Yep. It'll come one day. Thank you, guys.
So you're going to play us out, or?
Yes, I am.
Play something romantic again.
Of course I will. Bye.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Curiousaholic.
Our show is available on all of your favorite streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment letting us know what you've been curious about.
We release new episodes every single week just like this one.
But until next time, stay curious, folks.